The Titans defense did its part in Pittsburgh on Sunday. They held the Steelers to 168 total yards, the lowest output they've given up since 2010. They held them to 4 field goals after the 4 turnovers. Just 19 points for the game, despite 4 turnovers by the offense. They did their part. They got 3 sacks. It just wasn't enough because of all the mistakes on the offensive side of the ball. Bud Dupree also back in action for the Titans. Got a sack against his old team in his return to Pittsburgh, and John Burton has more on that.
After starting his NFL career here in Pittsburgh with the Steelers, outside linebacker Bud Dupree signed a big money free agent deal with the Titans this past offseason. Dupree's missed several games this year due to injury, but he was back in the lineup on Sunday and registered 3 tackles and a QB sack on his old buddy, Ben Roethlisberger.
Emotional day back in Pittsburgh, was great, though, to go out here with my new team. We didn't get the outcome we wanted, but, we still got to keep moving forward. Everything's starting to come back around. It's still going to take time. The timeline is probably still a little more time, but at the end of the day, I feel good enough to go out here with the team and compete.
And Steve, Dupree and his mates sacked Big Ben a total of 3 times on Sunday. But for the 3rd time in their last 3 games, the Titans defense failed to register a takeaway. One of the many reasons why Sunday's game ended in such a disappointing loss.
Thanks, JB. Back with Keith and Jonathan now for final analysis. Keith, you lose 1 game, turn it over 5 times against the Texans. It feels like an aberration. You lose 3 games in essentially the exact same manner now. How hard is it as a player to not start pressing and believing this is who you are and not the team that started 8-2?
Well, I mean, on offense, they might be feeling some of those woes, but that's why this is the ultimate team game. The defense is playing great. They're playing lights out. So when one side is down, the other side picks it up, and hopefully you find balance. And look, they started off 8-2. Now they're 9-5. 3 of the last 4 games they've lost, but they know who they are. They know what they have to do in order to get this thing going.
And Jonathan, Julio Jones goes out again today as that hamstring flares up. He's a future Hall of Famer, no doubt, but is it time to start calling this trade a bust?
Well, he's offering a presence, but not production. He is a legendary player whose body is just simply not holding up. He's either inactive or he's available on limited reps before leaving the game with the same hamstring issue. And before he was ruled out at halftime, he broke open deep. Tannehill has to let it rip and have time to let it rip. But the biggest issue is the hamstring, and that's not magically going away when the ball drops on New Year's Eve and the playoff calendar begins. So right now, Steve, the answer is yes. Absolutely yes.
And now the division's tightening, and the schedule we thought was going to lighten up sees the Niners, who've won 5 of 6, and the Dolphins, who've won 6 straight the next 2 weeks. How do they turn this around, especially given the short week?
Get a win on Thursday. Get this game out of your system. The best thing you do is go out there, get a win on Thursday. Forget about it. You have to have a short memory in the NFL.
They have to tackle Deebo Samuel out of the backfield and control George Kittle. It starts by doing those things. The good news is that's on the defense.
Yeah, no time to lick their wounds. That is for sure. Guys, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, thank you very much. And as for that quick turnaround for Thursday night, let's hear from one of those stars of the Titans defense, charged with trying to slow down George Kittle and Deebo Samuel and Jimmy Garoppolo and that Niners offense that's been very difficult on people in recent weeks. That would be Big Jeffrey Simmons, who I and other members of the media caught up with earlier today.
People ask about this Titans defense. How you want you guys to be described?
Kind of what our motto is, fast, physical, aggressive guy. That, we're going to play hard. We're going to play to the clock hit zeros in the 4th quarter. We got a lot of guys hungry on their defense. A lot of guys who, no matter what the situation may be, we preach the next snap mentality, and that's just our defense. We talked about when we played Jacksonville, when they got a big play, how the guys came back and knocked the line of scrimmage back, got a big tackle for loss on the goal line. So that's what we talk about playing the next play.
When this defense struggled the way it did last year, could you have ever imagined a year ago that they would have a turnaround like it's had this year?
I think the great thing about this game, it's not all about last year. It's not about, how we just lost to Pittsburgh. It's all about how can we build and get better the next day and the next year. And I think that's been the mindset this year. How can we keep building off each game to try to get better each and every week and each and every year? So.
Brian said you guys can't get caught playing the standard watch game right now. But obviously you know where you are and what's in front of you. How big is this game Thursday night?
Every game big, but like I said, it's December, and you know we kind of fell off with the momentum from last week losing to Pittsburgh, but it's a new week. We have to be able to figure out and find out, you know, how can we get that momentum back this Thursday. And like I said, from the defense standpoint, they try to run the ball, so in order for us to win this game, we have to be able to stop the run, you know, affect the quarterback. And like I said, I'm very confident in our defense. I'm very confident in this team this week. So we just got to go out and play our ball. You know, like Tannehill, I'm sure that he preaching it. You know, take care of the ball on his side, and we preaching getting takeaways. So I think that's the message.
Pro Bowl announcements for this week. How much do you think you're deserving, and how many other guys on your side of the ball do you think are deserving?
You know, I think that's another subject. I think, especially with the Pro Bowl, you know, I think honestly my main focus is trying to win right now. You know, Pro Bowl I think it take care of itself, you know, with the fans and the players around the league and the coaches. But you know, if I do make it, you know, it's a huge honor. You know, just having the respect from everyone around, you know, the league and your fans and your peers. And then also just my teammates. You know, I come to work, you know, with a mindset that, you know, I want to be a leader. You know, I want to be the best teammate I could be, and that's just it. You know, just playing my role and doing what I'm